the reports themselves. We are supposed to distribute all these. They are supposed to be in numbers. We are supposed to have all the copies. I don't understand local government. I don't understand why the councils are working like this. You keep them at Charimbana there for 5 days or more. They will not come with correct things before the committee. Yesterday we had a local authority that stayed there for 5 days, failing to put a signature on the report, to stamp the report, to put appendixes here where somebody is able to read, failing to do those, but they are seated there. We will not go on like this. It's simply making our work very difficult. You know, when you have a report like this one, everyone has a report, then we start business. But even when we have additional copies that are going to be 1 or 2, that is basically making our work very difficult. And we are able to send them away to go and do the right thing because, you know, they have the money. But look at the time that we waste at the end of the day. The reason they come at Charimbana is for preparations. And one of the preparations is what we are talking about now. Tomorrow or in the afternoon, we'll see the same mistake. Reluctantly, we can proceed.
Thank you so much, Chair. We really apologize for that. We'll make sure that the next time we'll make available all the documents.
Okay.
Chair, as guided, I'll go.
You can continue.
Chair, sorry for coming up again. Chair, we are about 10, and I don't know if we look at this Appendix 11, if you will be sharing with the Honorable Nyambose here, and also with you there, Chair, because you need to interrogate Appendix 11. So I don't know how we are going to interrogate this appendix when we have got only one. Chair, I submit. Maybe I would suggest, Chair, that we just have a caucus of 5 minutes so that we see how we are going to proceed with this council. Chair, I submit.
All right. In wake of the shortcoming before us, let me ask you, Town Clerk, and your team to step out. We'll call you back. Let me ask you to step out, and we'll call you back.
Chair, maybe before we step out, I think Appendix 11 is already part of the report. Is this one?
Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
My name's Marjorie Nakaponda. I was born in 1963. In a family, we are 8. 4 girls, 4 boys. I'm the firstborn. I started my grade 1 in 1971 at Chiwanda Primary School in Isoka. In 1978, I went at Ritkila Girls Secondary School. We were the 12 of us who applied at Ritkila Girls Secondary School, but only 2 of us went because we are the ones who had high marks. I completed my secondary school in 1982, from 1978 to 1982. After completion, I started working at Nambodi as a cashier. I worked for 4 years, from 1984 to 1988. We were declared redundant. That time, I was already married to Mr. Kashinka, my husband, and I had 2 children, a boy and a girl. In 1988, I went for nursing school. I applied as a nurse at Chilonga School of Nursing and I was accepted. I completed the nursing in 1990. 1991 I started work at Isoka General Hospital. I worked there for 7 years. We were transferred from Isoka to Chinsali. When I went to Chinsali, I continued as a nurse. After some time, I applied for unpaid leave and started something that I wanted to do. In 1912, I was appointed as a diplomat by His Excellency, the late Michael Chirufya-Sata, in 2012. May his soul rest in peace. I went to Belgium as a diplomat. I worked in Belgium as a diplomat for 4 years. Then I requested for a transfer. I went to Malawi as Deputy High Commission from 2015 to 2017. After that, I went back to Chinsali. I've done a degree in Human Resource Management and a diploma in Public Administration. In 2020, I applied to contest as a Member of Parliament for Isoka. Fortunately, I was adopted and I started my campaigns. On 12th August 2021, I was elected as a Member of Parliament. I am proud to tell you that I'm the first female MP in Isoka constituency since 1964. Isoka constituency is a constituency, it's a district which has one constituency, Isoka constituency. It borders with Nakonde, Mafinga, Chama, and Chinsali. Isoka was the one who gave birth to Nakonde and Mafinga. It has 14 wards. We also borders with Tanzania and Malawi. My development agenda, I am born as a leader. When I was adopted, I started campaigning until I won, because leadership is in my blood. And when I became a Member of Parliament, I started working together with my people and also my 2 chiefs. One is His Royal Highness Chief Katete. The other one is His Royal Highness Chief Kafwimbi, and also the headmen. We started working together. And also what I have been talking, and I'm still talking, is to make sure that we work together. I've embraced everyone in my constituents despite their party affiliation. It be UPND, DP, PF, MMD, NDC. I've told them that let's work together. Politics are overdue. This time it's time for developing our Isoka. No one is going to develop Isoka. It's only us, the people of Isoka, who are going to develop it. And when I became a member of parliament, I found about 55 unfinished projects. Then we sat as a committee. There was CDF for 2021. So we thought that we get at least those projects which were 100,000 and below. And we managed to get 16 projects which we've finished. Otherwise, Isoka is now speeding up with the works. And also, for the projects, we have identified about 30-something projects. We even advertised. The applicants came along. I, as a member of parliament for Isoka, have told my people in Isoka that only contractors of Isoka should apply. They should be the one to be given those projects, because that money is for Isoka. Only Isoka people should benefit for that CDF, because CDF has been given to all the constituencies in Zambia, 156. I'm not going to allow anyone from any constituency to come and benefit from my constituency. I have my people. I have very good contractors in Isoka, and those people should benefit. That money should remain for Isoka so that Isoka can develop. My last word to the people is, my people, let's work together as a family. When we work together as a family, we are going to take Isoka forward. And I'm also encouraging my youths to make sure that they involve themselves in businesses, and they should also go to school, because we've been given free education. We've been given money for them to go to school to do their skills at the trades. We have a trade in Isoka. Young children should go to that trade. And also bursaries. We have also given students bursaries. They should go to school. They should make sure that they involve themselves to make sure that they become educated. Because once you are educated, everything will be okay. Especially our girl children. When you educate a girl child, you educate the whole nation. So I'm urging you, my people in Isoka, that please, let's put politics aside. Time for politicking has already gone. This is time to develop Isoka. No one will come and develop Isoka. It is only us, the people of Isoka, who are going to develop Isoka.
Town Clerk, welcome back. The committee remained behind to deliberate on this issue, where we don't have documents that are supposed to be used during our deliberation. Honorable Nyambos, are you listening? The committee deliberated and they looked at your submission, and if I just show you this, the way this report is arranged for Polokoso, you have seen? You have Appendix 1, it's here. Appendix 2, just like that. But what you did is not the way this one is. So we regret that we cannot transact business with you this morning, and the Parliament would not lose paper by photocopying all the appendices and everything that is required using Parliament paper for all the members. So with that said, Town Clerk would like you to go back and bring us the report that meets the standard, the minimum standard of a report that should be submitted before a committee. So I ask you to go and redo your report, not really redoing, but put the necessary things that you're supposed to put on the report. All the documents should be in the report, and the appendices should be visibly clear, that everybody will be able to see. It doesn't take long to do this. So there's no way you people would just come and hope that you would do something different and everybody will just accept and nod to your submission. So the committee has rejected your report in its form. And with that, let me withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to go and do the right thing in terms of a report, and then Secretariat will communicate with you when you are to appear before this committee. You agree with the Secretariat? Thank you very much. You are free to leave, and please collect all your reports. Collect all the copies of your report.
My name is Honorable Usale Simbao, Member of Parliament for Luansha constituency. I was born on 15th January 1964 in Imbala. I am Lungu by tribe, and I'm married. I've got 3 children, all boys. The last one is doing his grade 12 at Impelembe Secondary School. The other 2 are done with university. I am a Christian, and I'm very proud of my testimony, and I pray that throughout my life as a Member of Parliament, I will maintain my faith. Luansha constituency is quite a big constituency. We've got about, I think, between 170 to 200,000 people, and there are 16 wards, different wards, and these wards are scattered. Some of them are right in the rural, in the town setup, if you want, but the others are in the rural part of Luansha type of setup, so you find that to get to them you have got to really be tough, because some of them are not even reachable by vehicle, so you have to park the car as you go to visit them. But my constituency right now, as it stands, it's nothing to be proud of. We've got people who are very zealous, who want to prosper, who want to do something really good for this country, but a number of things hinder us. For example, the roads. Luanshya constituency is terrible. We are really suffering. Luanshya constituency has been neglected for too long a period, so you find that the road structures are very, very bad, even the infrastructure. So Luanshya constituency on its own is not doing very, very well. My development agendas, to start with, it's the water in Luanshya. You will be very lucky to see a drop of water in Luanshya. But now I am working closely with the Minister of Water to make sure that Luanshya is well maybe attended to in terms of the water. So really the main thing is the water, that if we can have water in Luanshya, that will be a big step forward. The other one, as I said earlier on, it's the roads. You can't like to drive in Luanshya. So if we can have the roads done in Luanshya, those are the things that I'm looking at. Water and roads are very, very key in Luanshya. My word to the constituency is that be patient. With the budget that has just come out, I am extremely happy. To me, the way I see the budget, it's not different from when Nehemiah was given the permission to go and rebuild Jerusalem. So you find that this budget seems to be giving me a lot of power to rebuild Luanshya. So if the budget is going to be a credible budget which we can go by, I promise all Luanshya residents that Luanshya will not be the same. Because if you look at that budget, it's talking of water. We have plenty of water. If you look at that budget, it's talking of the infrastructures. The roads will be there. So if you look at that budget, it's talking of job creation. So all that area, Kafue block, there will be jobs around that area. So my word to the people of Luanshya is be patient, good things are about to come.
My name is Leonard Mbao, Member of Parliament for Mplungu constituency, Provincial Minister, Northern Province. I was born in 1980, right in Mplungu district. I did my primary school partly in Mplungu, then I went to Mbala, St. Paul's. I came to Ndola to do my secondary school at Chifubu Secondary School, in Ndola, where I completed in the year 2001. From there, I proceeded to do National Accounting Technician. It was called NATEC then. In 2002 up to 2004 when I graduated. Then went on to start doing the SCCA program. Professionally, after school in 2004, I think I joined an accounting firm, Matutu and Company, and then I worked there for some time before I went on to do some work with an Indian firm called the Starscape. I worked there for about 3 years. Then I proceeded to join Tazama, where I worked for a number of years until I left Tazama in 2011. From there, I went now into business. Started a company called LBM Transport, where we were transporting fuel. Then this company grew. We went into distribution, started distributing fuel to various customers. And then finally, we also went into retail, where we are running a number of filling stations. From there, I think in 2015, I saw the need to go back home and try to help in terms of ensuring that the district sees the development. Because, as you might be aware, our district is quite poor. It's got 2 sides. We have got the valley where we do the fishing. That's predominantly fishermen there. And then we have the plateau where we do farming. So we have got those 2 sides, fishing the other side and farming on the plateau. I contested in 2016 as an independent. We didn't do it. We went back in 2021 to contest, this time under the UPND, and we succeeded. Therefore, I am a member of parliament from Mpulungu constituency. As I explained to Sir, Mpulungu has got 2 sides. We have got the plateau and the valley. And the economic situation is not, that's something good that you can write home about. It's something we are trying as much as possible to change. So therefore we thank the government of His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for giving us the CDF, which has really been enhanced from 1.6, it went to 25 million, and now 28.3 million that we are sitting on. We are looking at, first of all, trying to improve in terms of the road network, which is very, very bad, especially on the plateau where it's a farming community. So what we are trying to do is we have used almost all this, the amount that was allocated to us in 2022 to come up with the earth moving equipment. So we are in the process of procuring the grader, the bulldozer, 2 tippers. We are procuring equally the roller compactor and the water bowser. So our view is that once we have these things, then we'll be able to do most of these roads on our own, because of course when you look at the market rates for the construction of these filler roads now, it's ranging above, it should above 1 million. So when you have a 15 million that we have under our community projects, it means we will be able to only do 15 kilometers. That won't really help. But if we can get our equipment, we will only need a fuel and a little bit of some money for allowances for people who are doing the roads, and we are hoping that we can do quite a lot of roads, because our roads are quite long. The constituency is very, very big. With that, we are hoping that we can try to first of all help the farmers be able to access farming inputs and transport it in a very good manner. And also we are opening the access to the market, so that when they do production, they should be able to sell. using a very nice road that we are going to not only build, but be able to maintain on a yearly basis. Every time we should be going through so that this road can be quite passable. As if that it's not only that we are looking at, we are also looking at, when you look at Mpulungu, we are the frontage of Lake Tanganyika. So that frontage, we have got a lot of beaches, a lot of nice places that you would want to visit, but because they are not open, so it's very difficult for us to attract investment and also attract tourists within these places. We have got a few places that are running, but always they are complaining of lack of enough customers, because of course you can understand, there is no road network, there is no communication systems, there is no power. So this one has proved as a challenge. We have identified this to say that our lake frontage is something that is of an advantage to us, and therefore we are trying to open up the roads along the lake shore. Once we open up those roads, then we also follow them up with electricity. Then we are going to invite people to go and invest there, because there's a road, there's network, there's electricity. People are going to actually invest there, and when they invest, I know, because those are fabulous places, you go there, you are going to have the time of your life. So this is another one we are trying to do in order to try to boost the tourism, which we strongly feel to say that Mpulungu should be one of the major centers for tourism in the country. At the same time, we are also trying to use the same CDF to now bring economic impact to the people, because this new Dawn administration, one of the things that we are standing on is economic transformation. And therefore, in everything that we are talking about, if we don't include the issue of the economy, then we are not complete. We want to see these empowerments that we are giving to our people, so that we see how we are going to improve the two sectors that we have. Because our primary sectors, as I mentioned earlier, we only have fishing and agriculture on the other side. So we are trying to see how we can empower our farmers with the farming inputs, with the equipment, so that we can improve the yield, and also try to teach as much farmers as possible, so that we can again improve the yield per hectare that we are producing. Because as a country we have got this problem, you do 10 hectares and get quite a little from there. But with education, using the money that has been given us through CDF, we can be able to start changing that area. The last word to the people of Mpulungu is that I know we have a lot of challenges as a district, and please, we want you to give us time. This government is really working to address the problems that we have as a district. We are already working on the water system. Government is actually in front in terms of releasing funds to the contractor. So the water issues that we have as a district is going to be a thing of the past. Also, our CDF, things are moving slowly now, and people are even quite getting jittery about it, but we can assure you to say that we have your interest at heart.
Onoyo constituency will profile one of the most prominent constituencies in the country.
The constituency is facing a lot of challenges, but the major ones are, number one, poor road network, communication network, no financial institutions, no colleges, no electricity, and inadequate infrastructure in both education and health.
bayuthi nabo nayika mulandu n'obwalwa nabana mayo bonse nabaponenamu nsunko obwalwa shena nashibonaula
echo ndeko nkomesha ndeko obuyantanshi kuno kwanga obuchinjeko kuno okumukushi Mukushi is a farm block. And then Mukushi not really mako everything sana. So no miss several poor road networks. Not a challenge to quit the population one and a.
In Mukushi, we watch Parliament TV.
Watch Parliament TV, the TV that brings Parliament closer to our community.
Parliament TV kudia. Keep watching Parliament Television.
The clerk of the National Assembly of Zambia wishes to inform all members of Parliament and the general public that the third session of the 13th National Assembly, which adjourned sine die on Friday, 15th December 2023, will resume on Tuesday, 13th February 2024 at 14:30 hours.
Scrutinizing a national budget is crucial for promoting transparency, accountability, effective resource allocation, and citizen engagement in the budget process. It is for this reason that the National Assembly signed a Memorandum of Understanding with selected civil society organizations to enhance cooperation between the parties in the areas of public financial management, fiscal policy, and economic matters on 6th December 2023 at Radisson Blu Hotel. Speaking at the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding, Clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Roy Ngulube, said enhanced collaboration that is expected from the Memorandum of Understanding will play a cardinal role in the realization of the National Assembly of Zambia 2022 to 2026 strategic plan.
The National Assembly of Zambia is implementing its strategic plan for the period 2022 to 2026, which is anchored on 3 strategic pillars. I would like to believe that partners present at this function this morning have had sight of the plan or the strategic plan. In fact, as you know, it is available and accessible on our parliamentary website. 2 of the pillars in the strategic plan concern themselves with parliamentary functions and public participation in the work of the National Assembly. Under each pillar are strategic objectives and corresponding strategies. A common strategy under each objective in the 2 pillars is the strengthening of partnerships with local and international organizations in parliamentary work aimed at knowledge sharing and improvement.
Mr. Ngulube noted that parliamentary committees need technical support to effectively scrutinize budget estimates.
The National Assembly of Zambia is actively engaged in reforming, as you have already known, because we have been meeting a couple of times in the last few months. Is engaged in reforming the budget approval process. And one key feature of the reform will be reference or referring of budget estimates to parliamentary oversight committees. Parliamentary committees will need technical support to effectively scrutinize in detail the budget estimates. My expectation is that this MOU will enable partners present here and party to the MOU to closely work with the Parliamentary Budget Office, the Committee Department, Research Department, and other departments under my office in supporting committees as they interrogate the budget estimates.
And speaking on behalf of civil society organizations, Executive Director from Civil Society for Poverty Reduction, Ms. Fides Temba, disclosed that CSOs are hopeful that the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding will strengthen collaboration as they continue to influence and convene the strategic focus to provide checks and balances to government.
Our mandate as civil society organization is to work with institutions like the National Assemblies of Zambia to enhance our advocacy and lobbying across all sectors of programming. Our strategic positioning is clearly an advocacy and service delivery that cannot be achieved without collaboration of various stakeholders and commitment from the National Assembly of Zambia. As CSOs working with National Assembly of Zambia, we've played a very key role in institutionalizing and coordinating CSO parliamentary relations by advocating for systematic and consistent representation and participation in various committees, also setting up policy orientation relations with relevant line ministries such as Ministry of Finance, Agriculture, Health, Education, Ministry of Community Development and Services, and also many more ministries. CSOs have also largely contributed to several policy reforms through the various submissions made to various committees of the National Assembly of Zambia. And this has improved our governance systems and structures.
And speaking at the same event, Director Parliamentary Budget Office, Mr. Misael Fitzgerald Kateshi, said the Memorandum of Understanding will enhance cooperation between the parties in financial management areas, fiscal policies and economic matters in general.
The anticipated benefits include both financial and non-financial resources to carry out joint activities. I wish to report that this cooperation has already begun to bear fruit. We've already had joint activities. We had a joint workshop with ZIPA on sector budget analysis for all members of parliament. We also had another joint workshop with a number of partners present here on public data management within this year. So you can see that we already active. So this MOU, other than that, will also provide an opportunity for our partners seated here to switch positions. By this I mean that most of the time you come as witnesses. This time around you'll be accorded the opportunity to be on the side of members and assist them ask questions to the witnesses.
With the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, budget scrutiny will be enhanced as all partners aim at to enhance cooperation in the areas of public financial management, fiscal policy, and economic matters.
Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
We're glad you could find time and join us on Parliament Television. And you're now watching The Voice of the People. And this is a program that looks at parliamentary procedure. And today we look at a very interesting topic, and we are looking at the constituents office. And my guest on today's program is Mr. Tokozani Kamanga, who is a Parliamentary Reform Program Department. He is the principal clerk of that department. I also took some time just to go around the city of Lusaka to interact with the people to find out what they know about the constituents office. And this is what they had to say. Take a look.
Now, a constituency office, this is the official office for a member of parliament where he does his official duties.
Well, constituency office is an office which is run by the MP. Yes, basically the MP represents the people in the constituency there.
So a constituency office is an office where the area member of parliament for every constituency operates from. As we may be aware that an MP is a member of parliament for every other constituency, for example, Monali constituency, Lusaka Central. So a constituency office is this office where the area member of parliament in that particular location is going to be working in a bid to engage with the local citizenry, the ordinary people, for him to be accessible. So that's typically what a constituency office is.
Well, very interesting views from the local people out there, and that's the reason why we do have the head of department to be with us, just to clarify some of the myths and misconceptions surrounding the constituents office. Like I mentioned earlier on, my guest on today's program is the principal clerk from the Parliamentary Reforms Program Department, and this is Mr. Tokozani Kamanga. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on Parliament Television and on this same program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's begin by you briefly telling us what you do here at the National Assembly. As Principal Clerk, we're talking about Parliamentary Reforms Program.
The main purpose of the Parliamentary Reform Program Department is to coordinate the implementation of parliamentary reforms. In doing this, the department is also charged with the responsibility of coordinating the development and implementation of the institutional strategic plan. Okay. In addition to that, the department is also in charge of coordinating the operation of constituency offices around the country, which are the subject of this discussion.
What are some of, maybe briefly, some of the reforms that have taken place here at the National Assembly of Zambia? Just brief.
Well, the main one that comes to mind immediately is this platform where we are, Parliament TV. That is a baby of the reforms. Parliament TV was set up under the parliamentary reforms with a view of affording members of the public an opportunity to understand what happens on the floor of the House and indeed in the proceedings of the committee. And the best way of doing that is for them to be able to see what is happening through the medium of television.
Today we look at a very interesting topic, the constituents office. And these are offices where members of parliament are found, more especially when we are not here at parliament. And what is a constituents office and its purpose?
Firstly, the constituency office is a formal meeting place for a member of parliament and the constituents. This is a place that has been provided for use by the member of parliament to undertake his or her parliamentary work in the constituency. So the main purpose of the constituency office is to provide that connection between the member of parliament and the people who elected them. The member of parliament comes to the National Assembly as a representative of the people. So the constituency office was set up, provide a platform for people to be able to access the member of parliament. Previously, before constituency offices, it was very difficult for the member of parliament to interact and properly interface with the constituents. So having a physical presence in the constituency itself has created that platform. So it's at this office that members of the public in that particular constituency can go and meet the member of parliament. As you are aware, the member of parliament spends a lot of time at parliament buildings in Lusaka, but because there's that permanent presence in the constituency, they're still able to submit their issues to that office, which can be transmitted to the member of parliament in Lusaka, or when the member of parliament visits the constituency, they're able to find those issues that are outstanding. Okay. The office also serves as an information center. What do we mean by this? There are so many government policies and other issues of national interests which need to be disseminated to the public. So we find that so many publications about, first of all, the work of parliament itself. We've got our Hansard, which is a record of our parliamentary proceedings. We've got the Yellow Book, which is the national budget. We've got committee reports. Beyond that, even other reports of government departments and other documents that talk about government policy are deposited or reposited at these constituency offices. So any member of the public in that constituency is able to go and read that information at the constituency office.
How often are these documents deposited at these various constituency offices?
Well, obviously there's a bit of time it takes in terms of logistics, if we're going to transport the physical documents. But in this modern age, in this information age, we also have a lot of documents that are available in soft copy, which are relayed to the constituency office, and if need be, printed by the staff at the office for the public people to access those documents.
Who mans these same offices?
The constituency office is manned by 4 members of staff. We have the professional assistant, who is the manager, if you like, of the constituency office, and this is the person who serves as more or less an executive assistant for the member of parliament in the constituency office. He is assisted by an administrative assistant who does the work of receptionist. This is the person who receives any visitor that comes to the office and records the presence of that visitor and ascertains whether that visitor needs to see the member of parliament or whether they need to see the professional assistant. The administrative assistant also, of course, assists the professional assistant when the professional assistant is out of office. In addition to those 2 staff, we also have 2 security personnel who, as their title suggests, are in charge of ensuring that the staff, the member of parliament, the staff and the facilities are secure.
Okay. Now, who employs these staff? Is it the area member of parliament?
All the staff at the constituency offices are employed by the National Assembly. They have an employment contract with the office of the clerk, meaning they are part of the office of the clerk.
Okay.
The idea is that the member of the staff are permanent in a way. Even though they're on fixed term contract, they're expected to be there regardless of which member of parliament is holding the seat at that given time.
Okay.
So these staff are not aligned to any particular member of parliament. It has been done in this way to ensure that the staff are not politicized. You know, one of the critical aspects of a constituency office is that it's non-partisan. It's not a political office. That is why in terms of the functions I emphasize the issue of the parliamentary work, meaning the member of parliament cannot undertake any political work at the constituency office. The idea is that every member of the public, regardless of which party they sympathize with, should be free to use the constituency office. If the office is seen to be affiliated to any political party, then people might shun that office.
What is the function of the area member of parliament at the constituency office?
Let's start at the top. If you look at the functions of a member of parliament, we've got legislation, we've got oversight, and then representation, which in a way supersedes the others, because as the member of parliament legislates, as the member of parliament undertakes his oversight work, he's doing it as a representative of the people that elected him. So the member of parliament, for him to be able to properly represent his people, he has to be able to interface with them, he has to be able to interact with them. So the main role of a member of parliament in the constituency, first of all, is to be able to meet people, hold meetings with the people, so that he can get an understanding, he or she can get an understanding of the issues that are affecting the constituents.
Okay.
In doing so, he is better armed for him to be able to participate in the work of parliament on the floor of the house and in committees. The member of parliament is also expected to initiate community-based projects. Okay, there's a famous constituency development fund which is used to implement projects in the constituency. So the member of parliament is really at the core of mobilizing the constituents in terms of agreeing with the constituents in terms of what are their priorities, which the CDF can be applied to. Okay. So the member of parliament plays a critical role in facilitating the inception of community-based projects. The member of parliament is also from time to time expected to disseminate information to the constituents. Because of the nature of the work here at parliament, the member of parliament has a lot of information about public policy, about issues of national interest. So the member of parliament using the constituency office should be able to disseminate this information to the constituents.
We've seen quite a number of constituents offices owned by the National Assembly of Zambia, and in other constituencies we do see these offices being rented in various government buildings. It could be private buildings as well. Where are we in terms of having constituents offices built in all the 156 constituencies dotted across the country?
When the constituency offices were first established in 2006, all the offices, all the premises that were utilized at the time were rented. But it was felt, so it was realized that that model was not sustainable because of the outlay in terms of paying rentals on a monthly basis, and if you total it up at the end of the year, it's quite a significant amount of money. So a decision was made through the parliamentary reforms again to construct constituency offices. So we started constructing offices in 2008, and to date we have a total of 45 constituency offices that have been constructed. It's an ongoing project where the aim or the target is to have all the offices in the constituencies to be owned by National Assembly, meaning we will build an office in each of the constituencies in the country. The building is there's a standard model, standard design that we're using to standardize. So whenever you see a constituency office in Chasefu, in Chavuma, in Mulobezi, it will look exactly the same. So it will be a standard. It's a standard office that signifies the presence of the National Assembly at constituency level.
I know earlier on you did briefly talk about the important role that these offices play when it comes to the issue of the business of Parliament. Now, what is the most important role that these offices play when it comes to the democratic governance process?
First of all, what we've already touched on, being the link between the constituents and the Member of Parliament, which enables the Member of Parliament effectively undertake their representative role. But in addition to that, the constituency offices have provided a platform that the public can use to participate in the work of Parliament. How do they do this? First of all, there are certain issues that arise in the constituency that have to be brought to the attention of the executive. The Member of Parliament, once they get that information from the constituency office, they're able to come to Parliament and, using that information, ask a question on the floor of the House. And depending on the nature of the issue, sometimes it's not even a question, it will be a substantive motion that a Member of Parliament will move, addressing that issue that came from the public through the constituency office. The other way that the public are able to participate in the work of Parliament using the constituency office is in making submissions to the work of committees. Our committee system has a calendar whereby they hold meetings at a certain time of the year, and they have certain topics they look at in each session. They advertise those topics in the print media, and they invite submissions from interested parties, from interested members of the public. And one of the avenues that is advertised in terms of how the public can make submissions to the committee is through the constituency office. You might be interested to know as well that in the past the constituency office has also been used as a platform that even the executive would use, say, to disseminate. In the past, the draft constitution of Zambia was distributed across the country through constituency offices. You can see that direct input or that direct link with the democratic governance of the country.
Okay, as we come to the end of today's topic, Mr. Kamanga, what could be your concluding remarks?
My concluding remarks really is to encourage the members of the public. The constituency offices are meant for them. The success of those constituency offices is dependent on their participation. So I'll just encourage the public to fully utilize these constituency offices. That is the best way that they can participate in the work of the National Assembly and the best way that they can influence the work of their elected member of parliament.
Mr. Kamanga, thank you so much for finding time and feature on today's Voice of the People.
Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure.
My guest on today's program was Mr. Thokozani Kamanga, who is the principal clerk from the Parliamentary Reform Program Department here at the National Assembly. And today we are looking at the role of the constituents officer. Just hope and trust you've learned one or two things, and Mr. Kamanga has really helped you understand the role of these officers that are dotted across the country. My name is Paulson Tendovi. We'll be back next week when we look at yet another interesting topic on the Voice of the People. Keep watching Parliament Television.
Cholera is an acute diarrheal infection caused by ingestion of food or water contaminated with the bacterium Vibrio cholerae.
Symptoms of cholera include vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration.
How do you prevent cholera?
Be sure to drink and use safe water that has been boiled or chlorinated.
Wash your hands with soap and safe water before handling the food or after using the toilet.
Use clean water to wash your vegetables and fruits. Avoid eating foods from the street that have been exposed to flies.
Always eat food that is completely cooked and hot.
Make sure to visit your nearest health care center when you have suspected cholera cases.
Remember, prevention is better than cure.
So another part of the Jewish history of this town is in fact the Pioneer Tower behind me. That was funded by the Sussman brothers. They were amongst the first Jewish people to come